Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new season of the PlotCast. I'm your host, Nate Slater.
And I'm Chris Sandbrook, and welcome to our ultimate review of Gen V Season 2. Today, we're unpacking every twist, turn, and jaw-dropping moment of this explosive season. First, we will cover the episodes with a quick synopsis of each, then explore fan theories, talk about what this season means for the future of the boys' universe, and what we are expecting of the upcoming final season. So let's take a deep dive into the chaos of Godalkin University. Before we get started, I just want to state that we will be skipping the first 3 episodes as we have reviewed that on a previous podcast. So go ahead, check the description down below for a link to that episode if you have not already checked it out. So here we go. We're going to start now with the 4th episode, Bags. Dean Cypher forces a public fight between Marie and the newly vilified Jordan after Jordan's public confession about Andre's death, while Marie trains with Cypher. Discovering he lacks compound V in his blood, she and her allies formulate a plan. The plan involves Kate creating a diversion while Emma covertly films Cypher in his private box. However, Cypher reveals that he is aware of their plot and instead of being human, demonstrates his actual power by mind controlling Jordan to push Marie to fight, therefore potentially exploding Jordan with her enhanced powers, and realizing the immense and terrifying nature of Cypher's abilities. Then on to episode 5, The Kids Are Not All Right. Marie, Jordan, and Emma attempt a rescue mission to free Kate from the traumatic Elmira facility after Dean Cypher sends her there. Their plan backfires, however, and the 3 are captured and placed in cells of their own. While trapped, Kate manages to use a staple from her own head to pick her power inhibiting collar, freeing herself and Emma. Cypher taunts Marie with the revelation that her long lost sister Annabeth is also being held in the facility. Kate and Emma free Marie and Jordan. They discover Annabeth dead with her throat slit. Pushed to her absolute limit, Marie uses her blood manipulation powers to revive her sister, leaving everyone present bleeding from their noses. The episode also reveals Dean Cypher's connection to Sister Sage from The Boys and further explores Sam's strained relationship with his parents. In episode 6, titled Cooking Lessons, Marie and her friends escape Elmira with help from Sam, who busts them out, and Marie's resurrected sister Annabeth, who uses her secret precognition powers to guide them. They are soon tracked down by Cypher's enforcer Vicor, but are saved when Victoria Newman's daughter, Zoe, brutally kills him, which was awesome, by the way.
Yes.
The group is then taken to a secure bunker by Stan Edgar, the former CEO of Vought. There, they learn about Project Odessa, which created both Marie and Homelander, and realize the burnt man Cypher has been puppeteering might be Thomas Godalkin, the project's original creator. After Cypher reveals his plan to Polarity to cull the herd of weaker soups, Polarity breaks free of his mind control and blasts him out a window. The episode ends with a newly motivated Marie leaving the bunker on her own to confront Cypher, who is followed closely by Kate, who hopes Marie can use her new powers to heal her. Moving on to episode 7, Hell Week. Marie returns to Godalkin University to heal the severely burned Thomas Godalkin, but unwittingly unleashes a far greater evil. After Marie and Kate find the ailing polarity, Marie uses her powerful new abilities to cure him of his condition, restoring his full power. Meanwhile, Marie's sister Annabeth has a premonition of Marie's death, causing the rest of the group to pursue her back to the campus, where Marie incapacitates them to continue alone. The episode reveals a major twist. The villain, known as Cypher, is actually a powerless human named Doug, being controlled by Thomas Godolkin. As Polarity fights Doug, Marie heals Godolkin, restoring his strength and allowing him to escape his confinement. Realizing the deception, Kate and Emma flee with the weakened Marie, while Godolkin immediately begins to cull what he considers inferior soups, setting up a dangerous showdown for the season finale. Episode 8, titled Trojan. The students unite to take on Thomas Godolkin. After being restored to his own body with Marie's powers, Godolkin reveals that his seminars is a trap to cull the herd of weaker soups and level up his own abilities to control Marie and Homelander. With help from their friends, Marie confronts Godolkin, but he briefly gains control of her. Polarity arrives to break the connection, allowing Marie to use her blood-bending powers to make Godolkin's head explode, which was just also perfect.
It was very explosive.
It was very explosive. It was very Victoria Newman.
Yes. Minus
Uh,
Victoria Newman.
yeah, exactly. With Vought on their way, the students flee the university and are later met by Starlight and A-Train, who invite them to join the resistance, effectively setting up the storyline for The Boys Season 5. So
Dun
let's
dun
get
dun.
into it.
Now, with that long plot synopsis of each episode out of the way, let's get to why we're really here. Gen V, Season 2. It had a lot going on. I personally liked it for the most part. I don't know. I think I like Season 1 better. But we're gonna talk about it before we give our final reviews here. So some things that happened, we already discussed episodes 1 through 3 in another video. So on to the end here. Going with the whole Godolkin / Cypher deal, I want to say that a prediction from episodes 1 to 3
Yeah,
predictions were
I
pretty
feel
good
we
stuff.
were pretty on par with
Yeah,
our predictions from
yeah.
the last episode we did on this. And it's I will say this season felt somewhat predictable. I
Hmm.
don't know if you felt the same way.
A little bit,
Uh
yeah.
yeah, there was definitely things that, I mean, obviously it's fun to throw your predictions out there, but there was a lot of predictions and we did kind of analyze where it was possibly going to go, and it did go in a lot of those directions. Uh, and that takes a little bit of the fun out of it when you I guess pick it correctly. But
Yeah,
it it wasn't necessarily bad. It just, I felt like it could have done a whole lot more with shock value and twists and turns. I don't
especially
feel
coming
that.
from the boys universe.
Yeah, I don't feel like the twists and turns were really twisty or turny.
Yeah. Like, I mean, basically what I said I feel like Cypher is kind of like the evil Professor X, except he can walk. Realistically, I'm right because Cypher in himself is Godolkin. Doug, the body is Doug, but the mind controlling Doug was, Cypher / Godolkin. So
Right.
realistically, I'm gonna take the win on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and he also has a school. He's also teaching,
Yes,
uh, trying to get the best of the best, only not with the soup's best interest.
of course.
So, yeah, you're pretty much on par with what I think, as a villain, he was very effective.
Yes.
Um, but I don't like really the way he was introduced and then removed. It
Yeah.
was all kind of rushed.
Oh, how it
Uh,
like, what do you mean by, like, introduced as when he first gets his powers back the episode before and
no,
then
no,
he dies?
introduced in the series altogether.
Okay.
He's just thrown in, and it wasn't too bad. It was, "Oh, he's been watching us for a while, blah, blah, blah." But, as far as from the point we, the viewers, see him, he's just suddenly there, and then by the end, it kind of felt like they were just trying to get rid of him to end that storyline.
Yeah.
They would it was just, "Hey, we finally got the big bad here, and now we're gonna have him basically defeat himself with his own overzealous nature." I feel like it felt rushed because we have him basically at his full power for 1 episode, and they couldn't beat him at a portion of his power throughout the entire series, and then suddenly, "Oh, we're just gonna wipe the floor with him real quick."
Yeah, because I mean, I do get that because at the point of what's going on, he's dividing his attention to all these people so he can try and get more powerful. And in doing so, you see that he's essentially accelerating his own death. And Sister Sage sees it, but going into what I think Sister Sage's plan between him and her was to try and stop the Compound V from killing Soups from within, because Billy Butcher's the golden child of this. He's got tumor controlling him kind of like venom. That's the best way I can describe it. And it's basically made him gone insane. And now Godolkin, trying to get power hungry because he wants to get powerful enough to one control Marie because she has the power to heal. So at any point, they try and utilize her powers to heal any tumors that they can, hopefully. And then two, control Homelander, the Superman of the boys, the two god tier characters in the boys universe. I mean, even Godolkin himself is essentially kind of god tier with them, but the fact that he overwhelmed himself, and that was kind of like
Yeah.
his weakness. They saw the opening to overwhelm him, they took it, and she was able to just get in there with enough time to blow his head up.
Well,
Granted
I guess
they had like the rogue type character sap his powers for like a minute.
yeah. And I understand that they're trying to set up these god tiers. Would that then mean that Billy Butcher is god tier since he killed Victoria Newman without a second thought?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely think that at this point I mean, I don't know. We really don't know much of what he's capable of other than what we saw there at the end, but because the issue is that with Godolkin and Butcher, we've really seen him with this power for next to no time, and the fact that Godolkin just kind of was, "I got my powers back," and he dies. It was very anticlimactic, and I was hoping that, I almost feel like the show needed a full 10 episode like arc for like at least for him to have like a
Yeah.
little bit more back and forth with the characters. Like I get it, his idea was to get Marie's powers to where they needed to be to heal himself so he could be himself again. And then Sister Sage's idea behind that was to, heal the soups. But, Godolkin's was just to kill all the weak soups. A conflict of
And
interest.
yeah, it is a conflict of interest. And I understand the need to identify the strongest soups. And yeah, maybe, wiping out the weaker ones is a long-term goal, but isn't his biggest goal to um, claim dominance over humans? Wouldn't it make sense to cull the herd after he's achieved that goal?
Well, see, I don't think that was necessarily his goal from the beginning. And it seemed like that because that's essentially what Homelander is doing. He wants to be the one who has his foot on humanity. Godolkin kind of wants to have his foot on everything. That's the difference between the two. Freaking Godolkin's thinking bigger picture. Homelander's thinking little small childish little boy. I got to be the best kind of thing, which shows the difference in brain power there. But then again, not really seeing that Godolkin wasn't willing to listen to reason with Sister Sage, who is the smartest soup.
Yeah, I guess that makes him the dumbest, right?
Yeah, and what also makes it weird now is that if you think about it, Sister Sage at this point, she would have to try and go for the humans at this point, like to help the humans because Now her ace in the hole, Godolkin, is gone. So the only way she can try and make peace with everybody and not have Homelander annihilate everybody is probably to try and make peace between the humans and Soups and get rid of Homelander. But then again, she is a Soup, and she like she said, they're all on borrowed time anyway. So who knows? She could go either way. She could want to just have the Soups be dominant and just try and figure out how to make Compound V more cancer free,
Effective. Yeah.
effective, or she might just say,
Right.
"Fuck it,
So,
let's
yeah,
get the
you've got a
humans
couple
to help
of
us."
right, you have to have a couple of ways to look at it, right? So, the first one and that's kind of the thing about her power, right? Is she basically thinks of every possible scenario. So she has to have broke, broke all of these thoughts down. And the first being, okay, what do we do with the humans, right? Do we just find the perfect compound V and give it to everyone? Everyone becomes a soup. Or is there, merit for having humans as servants, as Cypher had kind of pointed out, and clearly Homelander loves the idea of being revered.
Yeah,
Um, and then you've got, I feel like humans have their place as long as their place is groveling at their feet for a lot of
yeah.
soups. But for her, what's her end game? Is it to wipe out humans, or is it just to wipe out the humans that would rebel or who are in power, right?
I mean, I almost feel like her end goal, at least by the end of this, is just to try and find a cure for the cancer that Compound V gives them. I mean, that's probably her number one goal. I mean,
Right.
because like she told Polarity, we're all on borrowed time, so, you know, it's only a matter of time before we're all fucked.
Right, exactly. Which it kind of brings me to something I want to discuss is the capture of polarity.
Mhm.
So when they find out that Cypher is merely a human named Doug, he is injured as a result of their battle.
Mhm.
And so they take him to the hospital, or rather, Polarity does. And then he gets attacked by Black Noir, who does kill Doug
Yep.
after a very nice conversation
Yeah.
where, he got a little bit more closure, polarity with his son. But then Doug gets stabbed through the heart. I don't think he's coming back from that, not
Nope.
unless he suddenly develops some kind of superpower minus compound V. Uh, but yeah, so he's dead. And Black Noir does kidnap and imprison Polarity at Vought, and that's when Sister Sage walks in as Polarity's being tortured by Black Noir with his questions about
Yes.
the inconsistencies of his movies.
And the best part about that is the fact that Polarity's like, "Since when do you talk? You talk
Yeah,
now?"
yeah,
I thought that was great. But yes,
yeah.
sorry for interrupting. I just
Yeah,
wanted
no, yeah. So when Sister Sage does come in, she breaks it down for him. I think at that point it was over for her, right? As far as Godolkin is concerned.
yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause, he just went against the plan. He just started overusing his powers, and you could see what it I thought they were originally, like, burnt like, his burns coming back, like, his powers he was using it too much, so he was going back to being the way he was, like, the healing was reversing, but from what I understand, they were just the tumors that were starting to metastasize all over his body because he's overexerting his powers too much.
right.
Yeah. So that I thought was kind of an interesting thing there, and she, seeing that, the whole goal in her mind was to get Godolkin to be able to kind of keep Homelander in line, get Marie's powers to where they need to be to heal people, possibly even heal the tumors, and use her blood to kind of maybe make a cure, but it didn't go that way.
Not at all. No.
Godolkin had other plans.
Yeah, Godolkin got way too caught up in his own nonsense
Thirst for
because it really
power.
was nonsense. It's yes, his thirst for power made sense. What he said made sense, but going about it like there's a time and a place, and that clearly wasn't the time nor place.
Yeah,
Maybe it will be the place in the future at a certain point, but they had things to do that took precedence, and as a result, he got caught up in a fight he could not win, and he should have saw it coming, being
for sure.
that he'd already learned polarity could break his mind control. He's already taught Marie to be the best that she is. There was no way that he could have won, um, and he still fought them anyway. Didn't work out for him.
I mean, he probably could have won, but he definitely just got too overzealous. Like, he was thinking that he could take them all on at once when, in fact, he should've just focused on one of them, and that's it. He should've just focused all his stuff on Marie, and that would've been it, but the fact that
Yeah.
polarity showed up ruined those plans because he has, like, that wavelength power or magnetic powers that mess with his mind control. So
Yes.
that is a good thing to have in your back pocket. I need
Yes.
one of those. I need a
Yeah.
polarity in my pocket.
Polarity in your pocket. He's
Yeah.
basically an EMP.
Yeah, yep. Pretty much. A soup EMP.
So with Godolkin defeated, I feel like as a result of his fast defeat, it kind of left the whole university kind of side, um what would you call this show?
Yeah.
Literally sideshow. Um the spin-off. It feels like obviously it's run its course. This show, Gen V, I don't feel like is going to continue, at least not in the university, if it is to
Yeah.
continue as
Well,
a spin-off.
going into that, I saw some news today basically that they were talking about what's they have a plan for Gen V season 3, and the only issue is that they need enough viewers to watch season 2 for them to warrant the season 3. And they do have plans for other spin-offs, but they all kind of depend on how we watch and view and what we like about this, Gen V season 2 and The Boys season 5. So there will be more coming of Gen V, granted it gets enough upvotes, if you want to call it that. I think it was good, but where they would go with season 3, we'll talk about that in a little bit after we've kind of wrapped this up. I want to talk about a few other things that I'm glad that they kind of touched on. I'm glad that they brought back Annabeth to just tie up Marie's arc there. It was nice to see that they kind of reconciled that, yes,
Yeah,
Annabeth also has powers, and she actually knew about them before her parents died. So
right,
there, she could have actually saved her parents, which is sad. But and that's kind of the grief she's been living in. That's probably why she hasn't want to see Marie deep down, because she probably knows she could have stopped her or attempted to and didn't.
right. Annabeth wasn't the only one Marie reconciled with. She also reconciled with Kate,
Yep.
also restoring Kate's powers. Um, so yeah, I one thing I will say that is really good that came out of this is we've got a core group now, a
Yes.
core group of heroes that are not just connected because they went to the same school, they are connected because they went through it all together.
Yeah.
And now that it ends with them joining up with Starlight and A Train and starting their resistance, um, I feel like if there is another season, that's kind of their focus. Not obviously to take down Homelander because it would go beyond that. But it's kind of like Star Wars with their resistance, right? It didn't just end when they took down Vader.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
it,
the
that
or the emperor. Yeah.
yeah, it goes beyond that. So and yeah, the problems with society, with everything in their world, stems from greed and
Yeah.
just people, what they will do to be on top. It started with Stan Edgar.
I mean, technically, it didn't even start with Stan Edgar. It started with Vought himself getting the super serum or whatever from Stormfront, because I think she stole it from her husband, who was a Nazi or whatever. I can't remember. It's been a while, but
Yeah,
don't
well,
quote
I
me.
did not see that coming.
And frankly, it's out of my comfort zone.
Yeah,
But so where we leave our characters at the end of this, as you were saying, we got the reconciliation between Annabeth and Marie and what was her name again? I can't remember. Uh,
Kate.
Kate, yes, and then we also got kind of like a little bit of development from Sam. He's still kind of very one dimensional. He
Yeah,
looks like he's on some sort of like Ritalin or something just to keep
yeah.
him calm.
At all time, yeah. I feel like Emma's really grown as a person. She's starting to see what her weaknesses truly are and that they
Mhm.
stem from herself
Yeah,
and
and
her
her strengths.
inability.
And her
Yeah,
strength.
exactly. Well, I mean, her strengths come from the acknowledgement of her weaknesses, the
Exactly.
acknowledgement that she was the one holding herself back.
Yeah.
But she's also made new friends. I feel like Jordan was kind of left behind in this season.
Yeah.
She started off real strong in the first season, and in this season, it was more, pushed to the wayside.
Yeah.
While she was there the entire time, no plot was really central around
I
her
mean, it
handling.
was really about her and Marie Moreau's relationship, and by the end of it, you see that they can't be together. She says that to Marie because of not necessarily the road she's going down, but the fact that she's definitely gonna be number 1 on a lot of people's hit lists. Jordan can be a pawn to be used against her in a certain way, or any
Yeah,
of their friends, because essentially, she's got, like I said, God tier up there with Homelander, and there's not too many soups that can face Homelander alone. Right now, we got what? Marie that could. We got Butcher, and we possibly have Soldier Boy if he gets
yes.
unfrozen, which he will.
And like, what's unique about that is that everyone is on a different side because Butcher is no longer a part of the boys,
Yeah, he's
and
not. He's on his
he's
own side
he's
at this
rogue.
point. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
and
just going for Homelander.
and Soldier Boy, he's his own man. He
Yep.
does whatever he wants. So Marie really is the one that's going to be helping the boys going forward as far as Homelander's concerned. But we also don't know what Sister Sage is cooking.
Yes. I mean, she's smart, so she might have an ace up her sleeve, which maybe her
She
ace
might
up
have a
her
couple.
yeah, maybe the ace up her sleeve is Soldier Boy. Maybe that's what she
Yeah,
has
that's possible.
because he can
Uh,
diffuse powers. For how long, we still don't know. We assume it's permanent, but they did leave that kind of hanging. We don't know if it's permanent or not, kind of thing.
right.
So we,
We also know that one other person was able to withstand Homelander's powers a lot, who has lost their powers, but since Marie can fix things, heal
yes,
things, a
mm,
certain Maeve might return with her powers. While she cannot defeat Homelander, she can stand in his way.
yeah, for sure.
So,
And who
so
knows?
that's
Because when Marie fixed polarity, he was more powerful. So maybe
yes,
she can make Queen Maeve more powerful, which is interesting. Before we go any further, I just want to make acknowledgments. A lot of the cameos in the show were kind of funny. They were kind of goofy. They were fun. They had the Deep doing the
yeah,
whole fraternity thing. They had A Train there at the end. We had Starlight. No, we didn't get any of the boys, obviously, because they are all
they're all
under
captured.
custody
Yeah,
except for the ones that we saw. And I just wanted to make a point that I thought it was a nice touch where they maneuvered all their cameos, especially I didn't expect to see Black Noir at all. Overall, I thought the season was good. But before we give our reviews here, final reviews of the season, I want to talk about uh, what we think is going to happen in Boys season 5 and beyond, our little predictions here. So, Chris, I think that you're onto something with the whole Queen Maeve thing because I didn't even think about that. I
Yep.
think the boys need every ounce of power they can get. For sure, I know Starlight is gonna try and be like, "Maeve, we need you. I got an answer, but we can only do it if you're willing to do it." And somehow they're gonna get Maeve to help. Who else? I don't. That's another thing. Who else do you think they can recruit that lost their powers? I mean, I don't remember if there's very many.
I no, I don't think anyone really lost their powers that, you know, survived
Yeah,
anyway, any of their battles. But Queen Maeve obviously lost her powers as a result of Soldier Boy, and no one else was really caught in that blast. Another person that we have to also consider to stop Homelander is kind of like the one you would not expect, but that is Homelander's own son.
yeah. That's the other thing too. I almost think, seeing that we're going to our predictions here, we were talking before. Who do we think would be the one to stop Homelander? And we kind of came to the consensus that Marie wouldn't stop Homelander. It would more than likely be Marie killing off Butcher.
Yes, the showrunners have constantly said this show is about leading up to the showdown between Butcher and Homelander. And now that Butcher has the power to take him on, I mean, he had power to take him on in season 3,
Yeah.
but that was wasted.
Yes.
And but this is very direct and it is clearly leading up to this. So when they fight, I feel like Marie is going to be the one that takes out whoever's left standing. My personal opinion is that Butcher will win in that fight.
Yeah.
How it happens, though, I don't know exactly, like, because there's a lot of different ways that they could take this. They are talented writers, and
Yeah.
they do like to take the left field.
Yeah.
So, uh, it may not be as simple as Butcher just beating him down and taking him out. It may be a whole lot more than that. But I do think, however it happens, Butcher will be the one left standing. And because of his condition, because he's been going crazy, I feel like Marie might be the one to take him out.
Yeah. And it could be with the help of Ryan. Maybe Ryan kind of holds him off, basically, maybe not
Or
with his
even just
powers.
talks to him,
Yeah,
heart to heart kind of thing as a distraction.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking. And the other thing too I was thinking about is maybe by the end of this, all the dust settles, maybe it doesn't set up like a boys season 6, maybe more or less it sets up like a whole spin-off for the boys where it's more about the new 7 and they're actually heroes. You could have the lineup as maybe Starlight as maybe the leader or maybe the second in command and maybe um Soldier Boy actually steps up and becomes a normal hero and he's the leader. I don't know if that will happen. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen to Soldier Boy. I mean, maybe he tries to help Homelander take on Butcher and he gets killed before Butcher does. Who knows?
Right.
But
We
if
also have new cast members coming in. So there are other people to consider
yeah,
that we don't even really know is going to be their what their deal is going to be, what their powers are going to be, if they're going to be powered. Um, so there is going to be more to consider beyond that.
yeah,
And they're very good at introducing new characters and throwing them right in the middle of the shit. We will obviously see when it all breaks down, but yeah, the Soldier Boy, I feel like he is going to be more of a distraction than
okay,
anything else. Whether he survives everything, I mean, I feel like he probably will just because of his powers and who
yeah,
he is. If anything, he's going to have to be disabled somehow
yeah,
and just set aside or frozen or whatever the case may be. I mean, let's face it, we only really care about the fate of one soup,
yeah.
the deep.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. It's gonna. I hope it's brutal. I
Yeah,
hope it is. But by the end of this, me personally, I would like to see a new 7, like a real superhero 7, and either have
yeah.
Starlight as the leader and maybe
Queen
Queen Maeve.
Maeve,
I would like to
yeah.
see. This is what I like to see. I'd like to see Starlight, Queen Maeve, Polarity, even Black Noir, because he's really not bad. The new
Right.
one, Black Noir, which would be funny. It'd be a running joke just to have him still on the 7. Black
Yeah.
Noir, A Train, and then 2 others, maybe Marie and, someone
Butcher.
else. Yeah, Butcher. No, actually,
Yeah.
It'd probably be Ryan. Actually, no, he's too young. I think it would be Marie. I honestly don't think it'd be Marie. I think it'd be 2 other soups that would join them, and I think, for my prediction, if uh Gen V season 3 happens, they'll actually have real Guardians of Godolphin like the Teen Titans. They'll have their own suits, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll have like 5. We'll have, the main cast of this show be those soups, and maybe we see them in action when the 7 aren't, or off doing something else. Like they take the lesser of the catastrophes, I guess you could say, to where the 7 isn't really needed. Kind of going a little bit more in the way of Invincible, how we have Teen Team and,
Yeah.
Guardians of the Globe,
Yeah.
which I think would be fun. I think it would be fun if they did that. But we also have possibly The Boys Mexico coming, and then we have Lot Rising, which is a prequel to, The Boys, showing kind of how Stormfront and Soldier Boy kind of came to power back in the glory days. So I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Not specifically. I'm more geared towards I want to see it. I want to see it now.
Yeah. What
But
do
we
you want
still
to
got
see
a year
though?
to wait. Well, I would say that as far as who we have right now, I think a lot of people are going to die. A lot of people. Um, I honestly don't think Polarity is going to survive just because of his powers. I don't think he's strong enough.
Okay.
I feel like Jordan might die more as a motivator.
Okay.
Um, I I want to see a lot of the main cast die, and not just the villains. I'm talking superheroes, or
Yeah.
not even superheroes, like the boys themselves.
Yeah, the only one that kind of gets a pass is Huey. So,
Yeah,
but who knows? This is the TV land, the, streaming version. This isn't the comic book version, so anything's possible.
right,
Remember Game of Thrones? They still
right.
haven't finished that yet, but they gave us a shitty last season. Hopefully, though, I don't think the boys is gonna get that messed up. So I think we're gonna be good. Um, and with that, I would like to get to our final review here. I really liked this season. I enjoyed it, but I think I enjoyed it a little bit less than last season. I don't remember if we did a review of last season. I don't think we
We
did.
did not know.
So, all said and done, it was did really well in what it needed to do, except I felt like it was too rushed and too predictable. I feel like it was like we need to get to The Boys season 5. We need to show how we're gonna somehow fix what we can and kill who we need to kill, and we need to get those points across. So I'm sticking at a solid 7.
All
A
right, yeah,
solid 7 for
I
the
yeah,
7.
the 7. Yep. So I'm gonna take the 7 minus Homelander. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Ooh.
I'm gonna give it
Well,
a 6 because
okay.
it was quite predictable. It was very much rushed. It was all a push to get to season 5 of The Boys, and that's my big problem. You're not gonna like this isn't the show didn't feel like Gen V. It felt like the prelude to The Boys
Season
season
5, yeah.
5.
I agree.
So it didn't stand out as its own show. It was just, a little here's something to hold you over until we're ready.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like, especially with Godolkin, the battle with that, it was rushed. If they gave 2 more episodes of him building his power, building his plot, it would have been at least a little bit better. Not anything mind blowing, but
I agree.
better. So with that, folks, I think we're pretty much done. Any last words to throw in there about this?
No, no, not really. It's just going to be one of those things that, either we are close, we are right, or we are way the hell off.
Yes.
And I hope we're way the hell off. I hope that they give us something that we absolutely could never expect, and it is all the better because of it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we're gonna get something right, but hopefully it's not an exact, you know, to the T of what we think.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that's it. That's our review of Gen V season 2. If you guys don't know us, we are Plot Hole Productions. We are on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube. Check us out. Give us a like, follow, and subscribe. And yeah, until next episode. If you guys don't know, I'm Nate Slater
And I'm Chris Sambrick, and we'll catch you in
in
the
the
void.
void.